Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Hatfield and this is my video discussion on ethical violations and discipline boards. I'm currently living in the state of Maryland, and as I reviewed Maryland's disciplinary action board, I noticed a common theme in that counselors were having inappropriate or dual relationships with their clients. More specifically, I noticed that counselors or trainees that were drug and alcohol counselors were the ones that were violating this regulation for counselors. When I think about my feelings about that, I think, it is completely abhorrent to me that counselors who are in the position to do good and to help their clients utilize that for personal gain. I think that that's not right, especially when it comes to clients who are battling some form of addiction or alcoholism, and utilizing your position for your personal gain is just completely wrong to me. When I think of these violations, I think of the value beneficence, which according to counseling.org means to simply do good and to cause no harm. And for these counselors to utilize their position again for their personal gain is completely inappropriate to me, and I feel like it's wrong. The case that I'm going to be utilizing for today's video is in the matter of Daryl Wallace, who held the title Licensed Graduate Professional Counselor, or LGPC, in 2019, according to online and court records. Mr. Wallace, as the respondent, received a complaint filed by a mental health counselor of a treatment facility different from which his infractions took place, and this counselor filed it on the behalf of the client. After receiving the complaint, the board initiated an investigation where they subpoenaed the client's records, conducted interviews, and they retrieved multiple text messages and photographs exchanged between Mr. Wallace, the respondent, and the client. According to these records, him and the client engaged in sexual intercourse. Also, the client stated repeatedly throughout the case that he sexually harassed her and basically pressured her into having sexual intercourse, in which she just gave in and said that because he was helping her that she would perform these acts. The most relevant codes that were violated by Mr. Wallace were ACA Code 8.5, 8.5.A, 8.5.C, and 8.5.E. Most, if not all, of these records outline the prohibition of non-counseling roles and relationships with clients, which go further into detail about sexual misconduct. Furthermore, Maryland Code 10.58.03.09, titled Sexual Misconduct, mirrors the ACA codes and states that a counselor may not engage in sexual misconduct with a client and supervisee. The code also goes into detail about what sexual misconduct includes. Based on the findings of fact, and the Maryland State Board of Professional Counselors and Therapists found that the respondent's conduct as described in the case constitutes these violations, and a basis on which they decided to revoke his license to practice as the LGPC. The ACA code of C.2.G specifically talks about of impairment and how counselors need to monitor those signs. In Maryland Code 10.58.03.03, it states that an impaired counselor should suspend, terminate, or limit professional activities if the counselor determines that he or she is unable to continue professional activities. So, when I think about counselor impairment, I think of the reason why counselors get to a point where they don't feel like they can reach out to someone else for assistance. I don't know if it's perhaps fear of reprimand, or maybe fear of being vulnerable in front of others to ask for that assistance. Maybe they feel like they have to uphold some sort of persona or image that they're stable and mentally and emotionally. Therefore, they fear reaching out and maybe someone else's judgment. I look forward to hearing everybody else's responses and watching everybody's video. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.